Hello and welcome to a new vlog. Welcome to the last vlog before Vlogmas starts. And this vlog is going to have a very fast turnaround. So I am filming on Monday and Tuesday and you're gonna watch this on Wednesday. We will see if I can pull this off. But I really wanted to do this vlog before Vlogmas starts. So this is the last days of office hours and teaching on campus vlog. So it's my last normal Monday and Tuesday of the semester. So I've got office hours in a little bit here at home on Zoom, and then I'll be doing a lot of grading and email and work, teaching admin throughout the rest of the day. So it's a work from home day today, but the last one of this particular schedule. And then tomorrow I am going to campus and I'll have my office hours and classes on campus tomorrow. And that will be the last day I'm going to campus for the fall 2023 semester. So after tomorrow, I won't be going back to campus until next year, unless something weird happens and for some reason I have to go down to get something from the office. But that's rare, and that would be different than having to go down to teach. It's the last week of classes as I'm filming this. It's the last kind of normal week. After this week, and honestly after Tuesday, my whole schedule just kind of shifts. It really just then becomes a game of grading and getting stuff done and doing a bit of spring prep for the next semester, but it's even more flexible and more on my own time and at my own pace. And it's just, I'm gonna have a list of things that has to get done. December 11th, I believe, is the day that all my grades are due, so you will still see some teaching stuff once Vlogmas starts, but this is the last day I'm going to campus tomorrow. So I definitely want to vlog that. I wanted to vlog one more kind of teaching work from home day of, normal day of the semester with office hours and stuff, but I always document the last week of classes and the last day on campus and stuff like that. So I thought I would do a little 2-day vlog, and then again, like I said, try to get it up on Wednesday. I'm probably not going to get through everything today, but I want to try to get through as much as I possibly can today. So we'll see how things go over the next couple of hours. I'll give you the full NaNo update later, but the short story, for those who are curious, I did not write for like 8 days in a row. Part of those days were the week before book launch, and so I was dealing with other stuff that you will see, good stuff, fun stuff, very festive stuff, but that took up that whole weekend, the 18th and the 19th. Then the 20th was launch day and a work day, and then the 21st I was on campus, and then the 23rd I was driving over to my parents' house to start Thanksgiving celebrations. Then the 23rd was Thanksgiving. The 24th I was still at my parents' house, but coming back here and I was just exhausted and didn't want to do anything. And then the 25th, I continued to do nothing. And then yesterday on the 26th, I did manage to do some writing and I did manage to bounce back a little bit. I did just over 1,800 words. So that made a big difference. I'm still revising my goal. I'm not aiming for 25K anymore, but I have made some good progress that makes me okay with not aiming for 25K. So we'll talk about that more later. I do want to try to do at least a few hundred words of writing, if not more. So we'll see. We'll see if I can carve out like 40 minutes to write before it gets too late. So yeah, I'm gonna get logged in for work. I also need to set up my planner for the day and for the week, so that'll probably be the first thing I do before I get really settled into teaching work, because my planner is blank and it cannot stay that way. I have to set up my planner or I'm not going to get anything done this week. So I'll do a little bit of planning, then start doing all the teaching work, and we will see where the rest of this day goes. just past noon. I'm done with office hours. I've gone through all of my email, which was a lot. It was a lot. So my email inbox has gone from like 50 something back down to 7. So that's really good. We'll see how far I can get with grading. We'll see how much grading my brain will actually let me do. And then I think I want to stop teaching work by about 2-ish, 2:30. And then we can write for like an hour and then go hiking. I feel like whenever I get to the end of a semester like this, there's always that feeling of once I'm done on campus that like everything lightens up, and so I'll start scheduling in a lot of stuff for like the rest of the week or the next week, and it's like actually like there's still a lot that I'm doing and I don't have quite as much time as I seem to think I do. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how the rest of this week goes. It's always this thing in my brain that I have to like just shift my perspective, because part of me wants to just put my head down, plow through the grading, get as much done in as short a time as possible. The more sensible part of my brain is always like, no, you have time. You can stretch this out and do a little bit each day. So I think that's what I need to try to remind myself of, is doing a little bit each day throughout the rest of this week and all of next week. And if I get the spring prep done sooner than I think, then I can plow through whatever is left. Basically, there's 2 big things I need to do before I log off work for the semester and for winter break. I need to get through all of the grading and post my final grades. So grade is the #1 thing. And I need to do a significant amount of spring prep. So the most important part of that is turning in the syllabi, because those are due by a certain day. So that needs to be done so that my department can check that off. But then I also want to get as much ready for the first week of classes as possible so that I don't have to end winter break quite as early. So like either I work a little bit into December, but I get more time off in the beginning of January, or I end earlier in December, but then I have to start earlier in January. And so, though a huge part of me really just wants a break starting right now, I also know that me in January will be grateful if I don't have to start right away. Like if it buys me just a few days. It's like, when does the spring semester start? January 8th. So I just need some time after tomorrow is done to like sit down and really think through everything that I have to do and figure out what I want to do starting now and what I want to do starting in January. So yeah, I don't want to have to start on like the 3rd. Like I'd rather have that first week of January mostly off and relaxing and resting up for the spring semester. But I'm also realizing and remembering how I felt at the beginning of this year and at the beginning of last spring. I still felt so burned out. I did way more work and way more stuff over winter break than I should have, and I worked much later into the month than ideally I should have. I think I was working pretty intensely on stuff until like December 20th. Between book stuff and coaching stuff and teaching stuff, I think I wrapped that up around like the 12th or the 13th, 14th. It wasn't as late as the 20th, but like I was still working on that fairly late because I was trying to do a lot of spring prep, and it just felt like when I finally felt like I'd hit that like out of office button mentally, it was just a few days and then it was Christmas. So I definitely want to make sure that I'm resting as much as possible in December, starting as early in December as possible. So I really just want to be doing teaching work this week and next, and posting my final grades by the end of next week at the absolute latest, and submitting my syllabi by the end of next week at the absolute latest, so that I'm done with teaching work by like the 8th, and then I finish coaching work and get that all kind of wrapped up by the end of the following week, and then I'm just done. And book stuff, we'll talk more about book projects and goals and what I'm going to be working on book-wise, writing-wise throughout December when Vlogmas starts, probably on day 3 of Vlogmas. Day 3 or 4 we'll have like a big writing update, how November ended up, all of that stuff. But yeah, definitely trying to be a little bit more strategic with winter break this year. But anyway, I need to get some grading done, see how much grading progress I can make in like an hour or so, and then we will chat writing and NaNoWriMo and where that is at. Teaching is done for the day. I'm tapping out. I'm tapping out. I can't do it. It's too much. Yeah, I didn't get any spring prep done. That's okay. I'll do that later. I got a good amount of grading done. Grading it's just exhausting. It's so mentally exhausting. Like even with a rubric and even with like a clear set like guideline of what I'm looking for and what the point deductions would be, but even with that it still takes a lot and it's still exhausting and I'm tired now. So writing is going to be fun. So NaNo, where are we at with NaNo? Where we're at is kind of as I was talking about in the last vlog, still not really feeling that great about NaNoWriMo as an organization. I don't know, the more I look into stuff, the more it's just like, wow, I don't know about this. But I would be writing and I would be working on this project even if I wasn't affiliated with NaNo. So I definitely want to keep working on stuff and see how that goes. So where are we at with my project? As I said at the beginning of this vlog, I took 8 days off. Didn't feel like 8 days. I didn't mean to take that much time off. It just kind of happened between resting and doing stuff before the book launch and then the book launch and teaching and then the Thanksgiving holiday and then really wanting to rest as much as possible over the last 4 days. Like Thanksgiving was fun, as you will see, but was also pretty busy. Like we did a lot. I'm excited for you to see that vlog. I'm currently in the process of editing that one. That'll be day 2 of Vlogmas. Thanksgiving was great, but it was busy. Friday was a little bit busy in the morning, and then when I got home back to my apartment, I just crashed for the rest of the day. Like I didn't even go for a hike on Friday. I did nothing on Friday. It's like all a blur now. Saturday, I did some vlog editing. I did some reading. I'm actually reading a really interesting book right now called The Glass Woman by Carolyn Lee, I think. It's the marketing, it's referred to as the Icelandic Jane Eyre, except it's set in the 1600s, not 1800s, but still, it's definitely got those Jane Eyre vibes. But I'm loving Iceland as a setting, like just the language and everything. I've also got the ebook, the audiobook version of it, so that I can hear some of the pronunciations of things. But yeah, I'm really enjoying that. So I started reading that yesterday. I finished another book on Saturday, What did I finish? Oh, The Winter Princess by Kira Dominguez. I finished reading that, and I'd read the first book in that series, I think at the very beginning. Was it the beginning of the year? Yes, I read that at the beginning of the year. Really enjoyed that. So I was just doing some reading and relaxing. Then yesterday, Sunday, I did take some time to do some writing and I got 1,800 words written, so that was really exciting. So where the project is right now, I have 13,000, so I have 13,031 words written. My goal was 25K for the month. I have now revised that and dropped it down to 15,000 words. But I think that's good. Where things are at with the outline, so that 13,000 words is spread across the whole Scrivener binder within the outline portion itself. So I have text files in Scrivener for all of the books that I think are going to be included in the project or in the series, and I'm kind of jotting down ideas for each book and what I think will happen. So based on the series plot points, so the inciting incident for the series, so if you'll remember, I think we talked about this earlier in NaNo, earlier in the month, I have the inciting incident for the whole series. I have the first big like pinch point, turning point. I have the midpoint for the whole series, the second big turning point, pinch point, the climax, and the resolution for the whole series. And then I've noted down which book I think that moment is going to happen. Then I started working within each book and doing the same thing. What is the inciting incident for each book? The inciting incident in book 1 is basically also the inciting incident for the whole series. But then like the midpoint of the whole series is kind of roughly it comes in the middle of the whole series. And like the climax and resolution of the whole series are also the climax and resolution of the final book. So some of the series plot points overlay into the relevant books now in each book outline. So for the outline portion, across all the books that I'm envisioning are in the series, I have 4,478 words. So that's more than a quarter, about a quarter, I can't do math, about a quarter of the 13,000 words that I have total. So most of those words are the general notes and ideas and brainstorming and stuff like that. But then I've got just under 4,500 words of pretty solid outline. Now, as I scroll through my different outlines, outline sections, it's definitely the first part of the whole series, and the books that are part of the first part of the series have more than the second half of the series. So I need to kind of go through the second half of the series. I'm looking, yeah, definitely need to start working on the second half of the series. I'd say probably, yeah. So I've got 4,478 words total for the outline. Only 404 of those are for the last, like, I don't know, I feel like only 404 words are for the latter part of the series. I feel like the first half of the series is far more developed than the second half. I definitely need to work on that. The first half of the series, I have all of the main plot points, but then I also have a lot of like connective scenes. So what I'm labeling as CS, connective scene, these are things that will start to make up each individual chapter, and the scenes that help me get from like the inciting incident to pinch point 1, or from the midpoint to the climax. So I'm starting to fill in those gaps. So I think today I'm going to work on this last bit of the series, what right now is only about 400 words long. I'm going to work on that section. Another thing I've started doing though is I have started being a little bit more mindful of the narrative threads, so the different subplots. things that I just need to make sure are slowly progressing and not just boom, something has happened, or boom, this has been accomplished. So I've got a list of kind of the main narrative threads, and I have a list of the POVs that I think the book will be written from. Right now, book 1 is probably going to be written from a somewhat limited, like it's probably going to be mostly one character with a couple other characters mixed in. But then as I get into the other books, I can see that I will have probably more POVs. Not a ton, but definitely more. So I'm starting to like keep track of that and be mindful as I'm coming up with the connective scenes, is who is speaking in this point, whose perspective are we looking at this action from. So yeah, making progress, and I'm feeling really good about it. So I'm excited for this project. I feel like I am finally connecting a lot of dots. So I'm going to see if I can start connecting more dots with this last part of the series. I've got a little less than an hour left that I want to work before I need to get changed and get out for the hike. So I've got about an hour, a little less, and then we will go hiking. We'll see if I can get, I think my goal, Scrivener is telling me 492 words, but I think they're also including tomorrow, and I don't think I'm going to write tomorrow. So 1,000 would be ideal. 700 to 800 is what I'm hoping for. So we'll see. Okay, I managed 855 words, so not quite as much as I was hoping, but still a really good amount. Definitely, if I can do the same amount on Wednesday and Thursday, I will get to 15K. My outline now has 5,333 words in it, and I did add a significant portion. So not all of the 800 words were in this last bit of the series, but what was only 404 words for the last part of the series is now 1,098 words. So that's great. So I'm going to keep working on adding into those. The last book of the series in particular is the shortest. The last book in the series is definitely the least developed. There's a lot that I know needs to happen. I just don't know exactly what all of that is going to be. That is where I will pick up on Wednesday if I can. I'm hoping I can write on Wednesday. I just feel like I have so much I need to do on Wednesday. So yeah, I need to try to wake up early and like get an early start on stuff. But on Wednesdays, it's hard to wake up early on any day. It's definitely hard to wake up early on a Wednesday. So we'll see. But I've been working in Scrivener on my external monitor so that I can have it on a much bigger screen, and then I can have multiple windows open in Scrivener. So one of the things I love about Scrivener is that you can have different aspects of your binder open at once. So I have my notes page in one window, but then in the other window editing screen, I have my outline for all the books, and so I can scroll through all the books. So that's been super helpful. So the outline is coming along. I was getting some more ideas. So it's definitely like it's unfolding, it's revealing itself to me, which is really nice. Connecting some more dots, so I feel really good about that. It's been such an interesting process, and I'll probably talk more about this at the beginning of Vlogmas sometime, but yeah, it's been really, really interesting going back through my notes and like seeing like just in this past like less than a month now, where I was at the start of the month and where I'm at now that I've got the kind of main tentpole plot moments of each book, and I'm starting to get some of the connective scenes in between those moments. Now I've got more scenes that I can ask myself, well, if this is happening in this connective scene and this is happening in the next connective scene that I've got listed, I can't go from this one to this one. There's got to be something or multiple somethings in between. So what would have to happen in between these two scenes? So instead of having, you know, originally I had like five big moments. And so there's a lot that needed to happen in between each of those moments. Then I had like 20 moments, which was great. But then there were still lots of moments that needed to happen in between those 20 or however many they were between all the books. Now I've got, I mean, I don't know how many, like it's hard for me to guess just scrolling through, at least 50 or 60 different scenes that I'm envisioning across the whole series, which still is not enough, but it's so many more. And so it's giving me so many more points in between each of those that I can start pulling them apart a little bit more and ask myself, okay, what has to happen between these moments? If this is happening here, there's probably a few things that need to happen leading up to that. So what are some of those things? And so every time I come up with an idea, then it is getting to a point where it's now starting to multiply exponentially, where I'll get an idea for a scene and then I'll realize, okay, but for this to happen, XYZ other things have to happen first, or XYZ things will have to follow this scene. The ideas are starting to come a little bit more easily, which is great. So that's where we're at for now. I'm now gonna go for a hike. First, I'm gonna place my order for dinner because I do want to make sure I have dinner later. So I'm gonna place my order for dinner, get changed, get out from my hike. It should be a gorgeous sunset hike. Sun is setting at 5:20, so definitely need that. I've got just under 2 hours, which is fine, but by the time I place my order, get dressed, get out to the park, all of that stuff, yeah, I need to get going. So let's go for a hike and have a very relaxing evening before the chaos that I know. It's not going to be chaotic, but it's going to be busy. So before the chaos of tomorrow, we need to relax tonight. Okay, ooh, car going by. I'm done. I had a lovely time. That was so much fun. I did 2.2 miles, 2.21. About an hour and 10 minutes. I've just been enjoying the sunset now. Ready to get home. I need to stop and get dinner on the way, pick up what I ordered, and then I need to get cleaned up and freshened up. But yeah, it was amazing. I just had such a fantastic time. I feel like the last several times I've tried coming out here, there's been something that's happened. I've been late getting out here, and so I've been wanting to do this particular hike for a couple weeks now, and I just haven't had quite enough time. But I went partway up the north side of the Gateway Loop Trail. I really want to do the full loop again sometime this winter break, sometime hopefully by like New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, something like that. I just think it'd be really nice. I'd love to try to do it sometime before New Year's and then try to do it a second time in the first week of January before the semester starts. Like, it'd be nice to try to do it twice. Last winter break, I managed to do it once at the very, 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 very beginning of the year. And then the semester started and I just couldn't keep up. I couldn't manage another long hike like that. It's a big recovery time doing that hike. So I'm trying to get my hiking legs back. I've done a little bit of incline hiking, but not as much as I'd wanted to throughout November. So like December, I need to really start adding in like every week. If I'm hiking most days of the week, like half of those hikes need to be incline hikes, and like alternating between a flat hike and an incline hike. Wednesday might be a flat hike, but I think Thursday I want to try to do another incline hike. So yeah, it was just an amazing hike. It was beautiful. The sky was gorgeous. The weather was gorgeous. The light as the sun was starting to set, the views from up there, like you don't even have to do the full loop and you don't even have to get that high up on the trail to see some really beautiful views. So I only went a little over a mile up from the visitor center before I turned around, but even just that distance, there were still some amazing views. So had a fantastic time, just what I needed. So I'm feeling very proud of myself. I got a lot of grading done, a lot of teaching work done. I got over 800 words written, and I still got out here for a nice, really good, long-ish hike. And I'm still feeling okay as well. Like I still feel like I've got a decent amount of energy. Definitely ready to go home and relax for the rest of the evening. But I'm not feeling like as worn out as I would normally feel. So, but I now have 8 minutes before I have to get to the restaurant to pick up my dinner. So I placed another order. So I'm going to go pick that up, then go home and have a nice relaxing evening. And I will start editing this vlog because I need to start editing this. So I don't have to do all the editing tomorrow after work. So start editing this, then have a relaxing evening. And then tomorrow we'll go to campus for one last day on campus for the semester. I honestly can't believe that it's the end of the semester. Like, my brain just can't compute that for some reason. Like, I keep thinking, no, there's got to be one more week or 2 more weeks. Like, it can't be the last week. It can't be the last day of class tomorrow. Like, Friday is the last day of classes for the whole university, but I only teach on Tuesdays. So like, I'll be doing my online class through Friday, but it's not the same. Like, tomorrow feels like the last day because that's the last day I have to actually drive to campus and do my commute and be on campus all day long and blah, blah, blah. So it's just like, wow, it's the last day. That's wild. So definitely want to go home and kind of rest as much as possible tonight before the last day tomorrow, starting with some very yummy food from one of my favorite restaurants. So I need to get going so that I can pick that up on time and then get home. Okay, it is now the next day. I have to get into my office really soon. I've got I've got more minutes than I thought because I found parking right away on the ground floor. It's an end of semester miracle. I pulled in, there was someone else right in front of me, and that I hate when I get here at the same time as someone else, because then it's always that worry of if there's a good spot right away, they're gonna get it. So I pulled down the first row where you come in. I saw the car in front of me kept going. I saw tail lights, but I didn't see anyone. The reverse lights weren't on, so I couldn't tell if that person had just arrived. That's what I assumed. So I turned and went down the second row. There was an open spot in that one, so the guy in front of me got that spot. But then I looked back into this first row and saw an empty spot where that car had been. So I'm like, oh shoot, they were leaving. So I zipped around to try to get back to this row, praying that no one would be coming into the garage at that time, because if they were, then they would get that spot. But there wasn't. So I got the spot. So I'm on the ground floor on the perfect side of the garage. It's like so easy to get to my office. It's a big garage, so depending on where you end up parking in here, you could have a bit of a hike just to get out of the garage. So yes, it is Tuesday. It is the last day of classes for me, for my Tuesday classes. So I've got office hours, then I've got 3 classes, then I've got another short block of office hours. But yeah, so I've got office hours. It is the warmest day it has been in a while. Like, I just can't catch a cold, wintry day on campus this semester. So I brought a cardigan and a scarf, and I think that was overly optimistic. So I think I'm gonna bring the scarf, but I will leave the cardigan in the car, because I put both of them on in my apartment just to walk down to my car, and I was already roasting by the time I got down to my car. So don't think I need all of the cold weather items that I brought, because it's nice now. Well, it's already up to 67. It was 60 when I left my apartment, and it's getting up to 76 here on campus today. So it'll be nice. It'll be beautiful walking around campus. It's not going to be hot. It's just not scarf weather or sweater weather like I want it to be. So that's a little bit annoying. It should be an easy day. I never do a whole lot on the last day of class, so I do need to sit down in my office and just write out my list of what I do need to cover today. So yeah, I'm gonna get inside, get into my office. I've got 5 minutes before I've got to be in my office. I can't believe it's the last day. I can't believe it's the last day. But I am so ready to just shift to working from home for the rest of this week and next week, and then being done with the semester. So it's always bittersweet. I'm never ready to say goodbye to students, but I'm always ready to like not have to come to campus for a little while. So yeah. Anyway, let's get into the office, and I will take you along with me on this last day of classes for the fall 2023 semester, and it should be a good day. It's going to be a good day. I'm home about at least 30 minutes later than I should be. Usually traffic is not bad coming home. Like, the traffic is worse going in the other direction at the time of night that I'm driving home after teaching. But there have been 2 times this semester where traffic going in my direction is really bad. Tonight was the second night. I just wanted to get home so bad. I need to go get changed and get cozy and cleaned up after a day on campus. And then I need to get dinner heated up. Thank goodness I stopped and got dinner yesterday, so all I have to do is heat it up, and then I can have a nice cozy evening, which will be really good. It was a good day. It was a really good day. Classes went well. We didn't go the full length of time, so I got done a little bit early in each class, which was nice. Some students hung back to ask a couple questions or just thank me for what a good time they had throughout the semester, which is always lovely when students actually feel like coming up and like thanking me. That was all good. And then I went back to my office for the last bit of office hours for the whole semester, because I won't hold office hours next week. But yeah, they were a fantastic group this semester. They usually are. I feel like I just get so lucky with having such amazing students. But it was really good. It was a good day. But now it's done. I'm done teaching, and now it's just the grading. So I did treat myself. Normally the Starbucks that I walk by after class is closed by the time I get done, but they're open a little later right now, I think because we're heading into finals week. So they're open a little bit later, and then I finished a little early. So I popped in just to see what holiday, like Christmas edition cups they had, like reusable cups, because I have this one, which I love, very sparkly, and I use this one primarily at Christmas, and then I have a really pretty green and red and pink plaid one, but that developed a crack, which is really sad. I dropped it at some point. I try to be very careful with these, but every now and then something finally happens and they're not indestructible. So I was on the lookout for a new one. So I popped in and they had this one, which if you know me, you know I am all about the rose gold life. So yeah, like it's completely solid rose gold metallic. I'm just in love with it. So I'm gonna wash this so I can start using it. But yeah, I couldn't resist. I had a ton of Starbucks gift cards in my wallet that I haven't used. Like, some of them were really old, like more than 5 years old probably. And I don't know how I've collected that many. I think people have given them to me. I think, like, I know there were a couple where my aunt gave me some that she had been given, but she doesn't go to Starbucks. So things like that. So I've just had them in my wallet not being used. So I redeemed 4 of those for this. I think I had like 2 $5 ones and 2 $10 ones or something like that. It rang up to, this was $29.95. It rang up to like 32 something, but I only paid $1 and some change after all the gift cards. So I will take that. I'm very happy with that. So that's my new sparkly Starbucks cup. And yeah, I'm gonna end this vlog now and I'm gonna go. I hope you've enjoyed spending these last couple days of office hours and teaching on campus and all that stuff with me. Thanks for keeping me company throughout these last couple of days. I've had so much fun sharing it all with you. Give the vlog a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, all of that great stuff. You can leave me a teaching related emoji. Yeah, leave me some sort of teaching related emoji in honor of the last couple days of like normal teaching work for me. Let me know if you're a student or if you have kids who are students. Are they on winter break yet? When does your winter break start? I'd love to know. I feel like we end pretty early compared to a lot of the other schools in the valley. So yeah, I'd love to know when you are on winter break, if you are in the teaching education world at all. So I'm gonna go get on with the rest of my evening, but I will see you all very soon. So you will see me on Friday in day 1 of Vlogmas. I will pick up the vlogging camera again on Friday, and you will see that on Sunday. So the first 2 days of Vlogmas, which will go up on Friday and Saturday, I've pre-filmed. I've already edited the one that's going up on Friday. I think you'll really enjoy that. Vlogmas is starting. So excited. I can finally like not have to keep things hidden out of frame. Oh, you're getting a sneak peek there. No, you're not supposed to see that yet. Oh well, there's another sneak peek. But yeah, stay tuned for Friday, and I will see you all then. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you very soon in day 1 of Vlogmas. Bye!